Welcome back. It's the NBA on TBBN covering the biggest game that happened today, the Lakers and Suns. Coming into the game, LA was 2-2 with one of the losses coming in Phoenix back on October 29th. In that game, 6 Suns players scored in double digits while Stoudemire led the way with 20 points and 10 rebounds, and the new addition, Sir Charles Barkley, finished right behind him with 19 and 7. After the game, Barkley insisted this Suns team was much tougher than the one LA faced last year in the Western Conference Finals, and also said that this rivalry is a lot more interesting because him and Michael Jordan still aren't friends. The two were known for being close friends in their first tenure in the NBA and while on the Dream Team, but not too long ago, Barkley said that he and Michael no longer talked because Michael didn't like the way he talked about his time as an NBA owner. Of course, Michael Jordan stood in Charles' way of getting a ring in 1993, but Charles Barkley insisted those days are over. He says this team is more talented and tougher than his Lakers team. Was he right? Taking the first 2 games of the season series could help that case. And so, on the schedule, Lakers and Suns, a rematch of last year's Western Conference Finals. Of course, the Phoenix Suns being the only team to be able to beat the Lakers in the West last year, as they lost 4-2, but every other team that played them in the West got swept brutally. And the Lakers were just a really good team last year. They're still really good this year.
Yeah, but you know who else is good out there? Charles Barkley. This guy was giving Julius Randle fits. In the first game that they won against the Lakers, he had 19 and 7, and there he is just snagging a rebound from Julius Randle. Just get out of my way.
Yeah, and that's just what you call a rookie lesson right there for Julius Randle. He just went up against Will Chamberlain the other night, and he'll be alright. It's a learning process. But the good thing about this Lakers team, they don't waste time. Julius Randle, an emphatic slam. At the 3, Magic, Michael, and Larry, they've done a great job instilling confidence in Julius Randle, not giving up in him, feeding him in the post. But look at this guy. This is just talent. Oh my, did you see the space he created?
Yeah, Michael and Kobe are known for that in this league, and Pete Maravich just had nowhere to go right here. Michael backed up, spun to the left. What do you do when a guy does that? He gives you that much space.
Not much you can do. There's also not much you can do about this. This is one of the best plays out of the entire game. Now just stop and take a look at where Magic is in proportion to Larry. Throws a left-handed pass from half court.
Yeah, these guys really love to play with each other. They played on the Dream Team, played last year, and the chemistry is only getting better. 2 of the smartest basketball players ever, and that could have been an and 1 right there, but the rest are swallowing the whistles a lot this year.
11-10 early on in the first quarter, and now Steve Nash is getting in on the assist action. Could have easily been a turnover, just as Magic's pass could have, but Nash puts it on the spot for him.
And Marion has been a nice addition to this team. He was really underused on the Knicks last year, playing great basketball for these run-and-gun Suns. And look at that, a very risky pass right there. It looked like it was alley-oop for Steve Nash, but that's the plus about having Amari Stoudemire. He takes shots and he can get into the paint. Now here, Larry Bird blocks Sean Marion, and Charles Barkley yet again comes away with the rebound.
And yeah, here in this part of the game, you clearly saw Julius Randle was starting to get frustrated. Charles Barkley did him in the other night in the Suns win, and there he goes again. It's alright, Rook. You're going to get used to it.
But Magic Johnson wastes no time. Feeds them the pass, like you said, not let them lose confidence. And that was a great move by Julius Randle. That just shows you some of his skill. He's not a guy that just goes down low and tries to bang all the time. He has a very unique skill set that's helping this Lakers team.
Now we have here late in the first quarter, Magic Johnson, boom, takes it in on Plumlee for a top 10 candidate for the week. Now, how many times do you see this MJ going in for poster dunks? He's not really known for his explosiveness, but Michael Jordan loves it. Says he's usually the guy putting guys on posters, but man, that was a nice one right there.
Yeah, and he would set Plumlee off for later, but that's for another topic. Start of the second quarter, Jeff Hornacek actually hit 3 consecutive shots after that, and that was a big reason the Suns had the lead at this point. That was his 4th consecutive shot. And here's Maravich. This is just talent over talent. End of the shot clock, Michael D'ing him up, hand in his face. Ooh.
Nothing Michael can do about that. You could put the best defender in the league on Pete Maravich. It's not up to you whether he makes a shot or not. Just a little bit later in the second quarter right there, Magic Johnson and Steve Nash. One of the matchups of the night. Magic Johnson finished with 22 and Steve Nash finished with 20. That was a matchup everybody was looking forward to after last game. But this is also the matchup. Charles Barkley. Absolutely nothing Julius Randle could do.
Like I said earlier, just rookie lessons. He's going to be doing a lot of learning. It's still very early in the season, and he has a lot more guys to guard, like Kevin Garnett. And my goodness, Brad Daugherty, man, he just meant so much to his team.
He really has. He's been a substantial upgrade over Andrew Bynum. He's a lot stronger, has more elements in his game, plays a lot harder. And check this out, Larry Bird, speaking of playing hard, looking for the and 1, ref didn't call it. Pete Maravich clearly tried to foul and slow him down, still made the shot.
That's just Larry Bird for you. Has so many ways to score, and this is another one. one of them. Larry Bird, a 3 right in the grill of Amari Stoudemire, giving the Lakers a 4-point lead there. Then suddenly the lead is 7, but the Suns have got something to say about that, and look who's back. There goes Plumlee. And this should be called the vengeance of Plumlee, really, because he went on a tear right here. There was an and one. He goes at Vlade Divac again, puts up a little baby hook, and gets another and one. Back to back, 2 straight fouls on Vlade Divac.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear he was upset about that dunk by Magic Johnson, because you just don't expect Magic Johnson to go up for you on a dunk. Then that was almost another and one. The rim wasn't too friendly right there. This time the foul on Michael Cooper. Shot clock running down. Look at the beautiful move by Maravich. Whew.
Yeah, it's just such a beauty to watch on offense. Has so many ball handling moves, so many shots he can go to. But this guy right here, working on the boards.
You know, work ethic is so important in this league because every team has talent. The only teams that are going to win are the ones that work, and Plumlee just showed you a good example of that tonight. Larry Bird, his last 3-pointer of the game, would go, at this point, he was 5 for 5 and 2 for 2 on 3-pointers, so shooting 100% by the second half. But this guy, not fair.
Not fair at all, man. Julius Randle, just nothing you can do. When a guy that you're guarding can shoot and he can post you up, absolutely nothing you can do.
Yeah, sounds a lot like Michael Jordan, doesn't it?
Yep, just look at the space. Maravich, very, very clear. That's why they kept going to it. He could not hold Michael at all, but then again, Michael really couldn't hold Maravich either. It was kind of it was just a really good trade-off.
This one of the best plays of the game. Look at these guys. Magic and Julius are reportedly some of the really, really good friends on the team. Had very good eye contact on this play. Magic went backdoor, and that's the thing you love about this young rookie, Julius Randle. He can get beat up by the other player, but he will keep giving effort, and Magic will pay him right back. Throwing the beautiful alley, and the Lakers looking like they were going to pull away here.
Yeah, you know the Suns never quit fighting, but sometimes fight really isn't enough. Look at this passing of this team. You know, when you look at the New York Knicks, you talk a lot about athleticism, but when you look at the Lakers, you just talk about passing.
Yep, and speaking of passing, look at that 3-man play right there. If you just took it and side by side compared them to New York will really just jump over you, but look at that, just 3 very crisp passes. Magic Johnson to Larry to Michael, and this is what everybody envisioned when these 3 got together.
Yep, and this is also what they envisioned. Michael starting to take it over. 14-point lead at this point. Michael Jordan getting inside for dunks, and this isn't what you want if you're the Suns. Julius Randle coming up with a monster rebound over Stoudemire. And at this point, it was a 10-point lead, but Steve Nash had something to say about it.
Yeah, Steve Nash, amazing shooter his entire career, hasn't lost a step, had 15 points at that point, had only missed 1 shot for the entire game. Then he gets a steal. Just when you thought Phoenix was done, Steve Nash comes up for the layup. It's a 5-point game.
Yeah, and the Lakers have got to be careful here because at this point you're wondering, does this team have our number? They just beat us the other night, but then Charles Barkley goes in, has 2 people trying to play defense on him, scores again. It's a 3-point game. Charles Barkley, 18 points and 8 rebounds. The game wasn't even over. Then turn around hook shot. Nothing anybody can do to stop Steve Nash or Charles. These 2 went on a tear. But unfortunately, nothing you can do to stop this guy either. Just amazing. Michael Jordan has already had 2 40-point games this season, and he is not joking around after losing his first final.
And neither is this guy. Magic Johnson goes straight up with Charles Barkley, but that's what happens when you're an undersized power forward, because Magic Johnson, remember, he's played center before. But just when it looks like the Suns were fading in, Nash hits a 3 right in the grill of Magic Johnson. And that forced the Lakers into a timeout right there. It's getting really close. 2-point game, then passes it to the side of Stoudemire. Can Brad Daugherty catch him? Nope. One of the most explosive players in the league, giving us one of the most exciting plays we've seen as he ties the game, and he wasn't playing around with that.
Very wise of Brad Daugherty not to foul him there. Charles Barkley again ties the game. He was just murdering Julius Randle all night. You almost feel sorry for the rookies in this league, but you know, it's good basketball, very entertaining. Then there was this guy, Michael. Again, how many times did he go to that fadeaway tonight? You would think that the Suns would have thought to double team him by then, because Maravich clearly couldn't hold him.
Double team wouldn't hold Michael.
You're right. Here's Nash, try to tie the game. Nope. Refs swallow their whistle. 2-point game with 40 seconds left. Michael puts him in the post, returns the favor, and that was the dagger. Michael Jordan, who else? This Lakers team has just been that good, and they go on to win it 116-108. The Suns and Lakers tied the series at 1-1 for the season. They still have a couple of games left, but this one was very, very entertaining all night long.
Yes, indeed, that it was. And now we get a chance to look at the scoreboard for both teams and just check out the point spread for the Lakers and how evenly spread out it is. You have the big 3 who both scored in the 20s, and that's how it always should be. But we really want to focus on Larry Bird here. 24 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, Very efficient from the field, scoring 9 for 15 and 2 for 3 out of 3-pointers. Then he made all his free throws. You just have to love what he does for this Lakers team.
Oh yeah, I don't think there's a doubt that this team wouldn't be the same without him. He almost won MVP last year over Michael Jordan. I think he came second to LeBron, and that's as a second option, so that's saying a lot.
Yeah, and of course you also have Magic Johnson, who did his thing all night, 22 points and 10 assists. So he's definitely been an assist leader, just like he was last year. Nothing changed there. But then you look at the two big men, and this is what has improved for the Lakers team. Julius Randle and Brad Daugherty both playing big roles, maybe not scoring so much, but just the intangibles.
Yes, the intangibles, but then I really like to look at Julius Randle. He fought all night, 3 steals. That's really good for a power forward, and that no doubt changed the how the game went, because they only won by 8 points. He had 6 rebounds, and that's out there banging with Charles Barkley and Stoudemire. And of course, Brad Daugherty just there when they need him. 10 points, 9 rebounds. Doesn't require the ball much, but he will rebound the ball the entire time. He will put the ball back up if it's there, or he'll pass it out. So no doubt that they're going to change the culture of this Lakers team. And although that they're just 3-2 now, I think we can really see that they're going to make a push sometime here this season.
So what did you see from the Phoenix Suns? Anything you like, anything you don't like?
Oh, well, I saw typical Phoenix Suns basketball. I mean, it's been this way for about 10 years now. They run and gun always. They're always a very high-octane offense. As you can see, 5 players scored in double digits here. Charles Barkley, 24. Steve Nash, 20. This is about what you would expect from the Suns, but what worries me is their defense. We talked about at the beginning of the game is the Suns were the only team to beat the Lakers last year in the Western Conference Finals. They only edged out 2 games, but Mutombo had a lot to do with that. He was a very big presence. He gave the Suns what they needed as far as defense went, because everyone else could score. I mean, this roster really hasn't changed that much. They had Nash last year, Stoudemire, Maravich, and those were the scoring guys. But Mutombo was always here to clog the lane. He was always here to block shots. And he was there to rebound too, which rebounding really isn't a problem because Stoudemire and Barkley still have that. Stoudemire didn't have a great rebounding night, but typically they do. But their defense definitely worries me. They gave up 116 points, but I think they'll be all right in the long run. I mean, it's 1-1 now. They beat the Lakers earlier this season, so we'll just have to wait and see how this pans out for the season. But it's definitely a project. We're going to see how switching out Mutombo for Charles Barkley, we're going to have to see how that works out.
Indeed, it's definitely a project, and it's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out. So once again, the final score 116-108. The season series is tied at 1-1 apiece. The next big game coming up, Raptors and Celtics, 2 of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. This is a big clash. Hakeem versus Bill Russell, Rondo versus Iverson. This is going to be a great game, so make sure you tune in.